once again, both the kittens are in here, so let's just hope they stay sleepy and don't go bonkers. Otherwise the circus is in town. Okay, so welcome everyone this morning on this beautiful Thursday, autumnal, wintry morning. Sitting up nice and straight, legs crossed, and bringing your hands to your knees. Drop the eyelids and just tune into the breath moving in and out through the nose. And let yourself settle. We're going to take 30 minutes to stretch. And we're focusing in particular on the lower back, which intrinsically means that we're going to do a little bit of hamstring, a little bit of hip, and a little bit of core, because that's how we support the lower back. And let's start with some head rolls so we get to feel the neck this morning. How's it all doing? And how able are we to thread our breath into the movement? And then coming back up to center, circling shoulders. And circling elbows. When you do a repetition of a practice like we do these circles to start, it starts to build a picture of the landscape for you so that you get to see the shifts from day to day. It's like when I go sea swimming day after day after day and you see how many variables there are on that seascape. It's never the same twice. And this is the same. Your shoulders are never the same twice. Your neck's never the same twice. And it's only by visiting it every day that you get to build up that awareness. Okay, reaching arms up high, bending elbows, taking a little side stretch in either direction. And then coming to center and letting the breath drop down into the belly. So eventually the chest really doesn't move that much at all. All the movement is down in the tummy. And then taking your arms down to your side. Let's come up onto all fours. Soften the elbows. And take a little circle with your hips. Seeing if we can slow that down. And then switching sides. And let's tuck our toes under and sit back on our heels. Stretch out the feet. And then come back onto your hands and tap the tops of the feet on the floor. And we're going to come to lie down on your back. So before you actually lie down on your back, you might need a pillow or something at some point, because sometimes we do when we do floor work. So if you've got one handy, or if you're into yoga and you've got a block, then grab a block. But some kind of cushion or pillow might be handy. And when you've got that, you're going to come and lie down on your back and start by just hugging knees into chest. So we're trying to find ways to create space so that we can move away from contraction and make space in the in the joints and in the muscles and in the connective tissue and in the nerves, so everything gets to be fluid. Rocking from side to side. And keep hold of the right knee and extend the left leg down. And really squeeze that right knee in towards you. So what happens with the poses is you make a shape, and then once you've found the shape, you find your breath. And then once you've got your breath rolling, you then settle into the pose. Like a 3-step journey into each posture. Okay, and then just bring your hand on the inside of your knee and see if you can catch hold of your foot. And for some of you, that will mean that your head comes up. In which case, keep your head down and just hold on to the shin. Remember, this is a morning practice. This is not the same as a practice at any point throughout the day. Morning practices are much more creaky. You need to be much more forgiving. And then sweep the foot from side to side across the front of your body. And then bring the right hand to your right knee. And we'll start to do some circles. Left hand can stabilize the pelvis by just resting on the left hip. And you might be able to get those circles really big, in which case the right hand can just come to the floor and become a stabilizer on the floor. So inhaling as you come up towards you and exhaling as you go away. And then switch directions. And trying to keep it slow. And trying to keep it very deliberately connecting to your breath. That really is where the magic exists, when the movement and the breath start to dance together. Okay, and then the next time the knee comes in towards you as you inhale, reach the left hand up, guide it across your body over to the left hand side. But you're going to keep both shoulders flat to the floor, so probably the knee is going to hover, because the shoulders are staying flat, you're not letting one shoulder lift. And then this left hand is almost like a support. Find some breaths, settle in. And then let the knee come to the floor, so this right shoulder is going to lift up off the floor. And deepen the breath. This is a really great twist. And then use the hand to guide the knee all the way back up. You're going to straighten the right leg. And again, be sure that the shoulders are flat. And if you're finding that you're yanking your head up, just bring a cushion behind your head so it's got a little bit of extra support. Take your hand behind your right thigh and actually just feel down the back of your leg. You can see for yourself how the muscles are feeling, and give yourself the benefit of a little massage. And so we're trying to change the dialogue. So rather than saying to your body, oh, for goodness sake, why are you so tight? It's much more oh, look at you being amazing and protective and strong. Because tight muscles are just protective muscles. They're not trying to trick you or make life hard. They're definitely trying to support you. And the deeper you exhale, the more they are going to receive the message that you don't need protecting. And that is when they begin to lengthen. Okay, so walking your hands up the back of your head, drawing your forehead towards your shin. Left leg is your anchor, so this isn't just floppy, it's actively pushing into the floor. You make the shape, you find the breath, you settle in. walking your hands back down. Lower let's just bend the right knee and slide the left heel in towards you. And then you're going to sweep the right ankle across. So we're coming into a reclining pigeon as you take your hands back behind the left thigh and rock from side to side. And releasing the foot. Dropping both feet to the floor. And let's extend the legs out and reach your arms up overhead. Stretch through the whole of your body, and then your left knee is going to come up in towards you. And you're going to give it a really loving tight squeeze. Your right leg is now the anchor, so it's actively pressing into the floor. And then the left arm comes inside the knee, and you either hold onto the shin, catch hold of the foot, often very different from one side to the other. How's the breath responding? What's going on with your neck and your collar? Can you keep the shoulder blades flat to the floor? And sweeping the foot from side to side across the front of your body. And then the right hand can stabilize the pelvis by just resting on the right hip. Left hand comes to the knee as we start to take some circles. And if the knee wants to go in bigger circles, just let the left hand come to the floor and stabilize you. Slow circles, deep breath. Feeling it all. And then switching directions. And then bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee, keeping the shoulders flat to the floor and just guiding the knee across your body, breathing. A deeper breath. And then allowing the knee to continue its journey all the way down to the floor as the left shoulder rises, probably. It won't be the same for everyone. Deep breaths here. And then inhale, bring that knee back up to center, and we're going to straighten the leg. So the right leg is still your anchor, it's not just hanging out there, it's actively supporting you. You bring your hands behind the back of your left leg and just feel and rub and massage the back of your leg. I mean, all the flow of your body heads towards your heart. So imagine the journey from your toe all the way up your leg, up through the torso, back to your heart. Your body's incredible. And the primary way that is pumped back is through the movement of the muscles. So if you're sitting down all day and we're not moving, then of course the muscles aren't doing what they need to do. And so the blood, it really struggles to, and the lymph system can really struggle to get back up towards the heart. So your body's going to be loving this. Taking your hands and walking up the back of your legs, drawing your forehead towards your shin. And take the shape, find the breath, and then settle in. And then softening the left knee. Draw the right heel in as we take a reclining pigeon pose. Wrapping your hands around the back of your right thigh and rocking from side to side. And then releasing and bringing both feet down to the floor. Take your arms either side of your torso, fingers brushing against the backs of your heels. Lift all 10 toes and then drop the toes to the floor, making sure they realise they are a part of this pose. They've got a job to do as they press down. Inhale, and as you exhale, press the knees away, let the hips rise. As you walk your arms beneath you, interlinking fingers and allowing the shoulder blades to travel in towards one another. As you press the arms into the floor, perhaps you can edge your chest a little closer to your chin. And then releasing the arms, making space between the shoulder blades as you come to lie down. We're going to roll onto our side and come and lie on our tummies. So coming to lie down on your tummy, let's start by making a pillow with your hands one on top of the other, and just turn your head to the side and lying flat to the floor. Walk your feet a little further away so there's more space in the hip joints, and then lay the feet flat to the floor. And just notice your breath here, because your tummy is pressing into the floor. As you inhale, the tummy expands. Hopefully you can feel that against the floor. And as you exhale, the tummy pulls back towards the spine. Again, hopefully you can feel that. And you're going to bring your arms either side of your chest and just press down into the palms. Roll the shoulders back and take a little baby cobra. Doesn't need to be a big strong one. Edge your rib cage further forwards and come back down. So a bit more space in the lower back. We're going to take our forearms to the floor, press the palms into the floor. Draw the elbows in towards you, so it's almost as if you're sucking your arms in towards your hips. And that helps you to bring your chest forward between the gateway of your arms and look up. Sphinx pose. So only you know how this feels inside. You can take any number of variations. You can return to the cobra if this feels too strong for you. And then exhale, taking your hands back, laying your forehead to the floor. I'm not going to, or you won't be able to hear a word I'm saying, but for you, your forehead is on the floor. You're going to bend your knees, take your hands behind and see if you can catch hold of your feet. So we're not coming up into the bow, okay? Your thighs are staying in contact with the floor. Your forehead is staying in contact with the floor. And the only dynamic part of this is the pelvis is going to push down as the elbows bend and you pull your toes up towards your shoulder blades. Pelvis is pushing into the floor, elbows are bending up towards the sky, and you're pulling your toes towards your shoulder blades. And it's always a good place to find a little bit of a foot massage as you use your thumbs to feel down the edges of your feet. See if you can find any little pockets that feel great to push. Always always a good time for a foot massage. Okay, and then you're going to take your hands on the inside of your feet if you're able to. So you're wrapping your hands around from the inside of your feet. And your forehead stays on the floor, but this time you're going to push your feet into the hands and then allow your gaze to rise as you come up into the bow. So if this is uncomfortable on your lower back, just stay in the frog pose, which is the one where you're lying flat. But otherwise, if this is all good, then take some deep breaths and see if you can get a kind of rocking horse motion going on. And then lowering yourself down, hands either side of your chest. Press through your hands, sit back on your heels, and stretch your arms out in front of you. Forehead to the floor. Pick up the right hand, thread it beneath the left armpit and turn your right ear to the floor. And then returning right hand flat to the floor, take a little wriggle. And picking up the left hand, threading it beneath the right armpit and turning the left ear to the floor. Inhaling as you come back to centre. And take the weight to your hands, tuck your toes under, and let's take a down dog. And bend and straighten the legs, maybe pedal the feet. Then you're going to walk your feet to the outer edges of the mat. And the toes are pointing out, the heels are pointing inwards. And you're going to walk your hands back as you drop your hips low and make your way down to Malasana. And bring your hands to your heart as your arms are pushing the knees apart. And then you're going to try to lift your heart out like a flower rising from the root. So the pelvis is really rooted, but the heart is lifting up. And then bringing your hands down to the floor, dropping your knees, and let's come to sitting. Hands at your heart center, forehead to your fingertips. Namaste. Well done, everyone.